What's the purpose of sports? Have you ever wondered about that? Is it about building character? Is it about destroying the ego? Is it about developing untapped potential or teaching people how to work together? Or is it about much more than just sports? Is it about life? This is a deep question and I'm going to dive into it today. My name is Raymond Ndjonok-Tonye, aka Coach Ray, and you are watching episode 4 of Heart on Fire, the Sports and Motivation Podcast. I'm a keynote speaker, coach, entrepreneur, and former NCAA Division I athlete. And my passion is to inspire and empower the new generation of athletes and leaders to play full out in life and sports so they can live with full presence, purpose, and power. If it's your first time tuning in, welcome and thanks for being here. If you've been here from the beginning, you might have recognized a couple changes in the title and the description of what I'm talking about. I'll get into that, towards the end of this episode, but just know, okay, it's gonna set your heart on fire. As we get started today, I want to give a big shout out to Mike Leach and the Leach family. The longtime NCAA Division I football coach who passed away, who's leaving behind, people that love him. He's mentored, he's inspired so many different young people, football player who've gone on to do great things in life. So whether you like them or not, whether you knew him from close or afar, this is a big community when we're talking about sports. All former athletes, all former coaches. I want to give a big shout out, okay, to you, Mike Leach, and thank you for the great things that you've done, for this generation of student athletes. So, what's the purpose of sports? This past week, I was asked to go speak at a football event. Okay, this is one of my former teams where I actually started playing football here in Montreal with the LaSalle Warriors. They invited me and basically told me that they would love for me to speak to student athletes and parents about academic success. And then I was trying to put this message together, thinking about it, prior in my mind. And I simply asked myself, what's the purpose of football? And this episode is really about what's the purpose of sports. Why do we love sports so much? Why do they matter? Okay. Why do we do them? Why do we invest so much in them? I think so many people in this society are thinking about the what or the how. Okay. But they don't necessarily spend time to really think about the why. This is what fuels the fire behind you. This is what allows you to go so much further. So let's talk about it. What is the purpose of sports? Okay, here's how I started my message. I'll do the same thing to you guys that I did to the audience. I took this football right here. I don't know if you see it, but there's a bunch of signature on this football. Okay, 6 years ago when I married my beautiful wife. Okay, my beautiful wife. It was amazing. It was an amazing day. Definitely, probably one of the best days of my life, other than my son being born. But I grew up here in Montreal, got the opportunity to play college football, in the NCAA. I was down in Mississippi, then in Colorado. And as I looked around the room, I saw former teammates that became friends, that later on became brothers. And as I looked around this room, I saw people from all over the place, man. People from Montreal, people from all over Quebec, all over Canada, from the US. I had some friends that came down from Colorado. I had some people really from everywhere. And then I realized something, okay? And something that really touched my heart is that this game allowed me to spread my horizons. So why am I showing you this football? is because all my former teammates and friends, they offered me this football on my wedding day. They all signed it. Okay, so I have their names in there. And then as I was thinking about the speech I was going to give to these student athletes and parents, I decided to bring this football to prove a point, which is what I'm going to make today about the purpose of sport. Okay, no matter what sports you're playing, this football by itself means nothing. This football by itself is an inanimate object. It does nothing for my life. It doesn't change anything in my life. What matters are the names on this football. What matters is what they mean. It's what we've gone through together. It's what they taught me. It's how they built me up. It's all the mentors, that made me who I am today. If you're an athlete, if you're a parent, you can feel what I'm saying. This is truly what matters. So it starts there. Beyond just whatever ball that you're using in your sport. Beyond just this football. It starts with the people that are around you. Okay? So here's my first point when it comes to the purpose of football. The purpose of football is to build character. First of all, as you are an athlete growing up, whatever level you are, maybe you're playing at the highest level, it doesn't matter, right? Whether you're thinking of starting a business or you're in a leadership position, it doesn't matter. Character is the premium. Character is what opens the doors. Character is what keeps you in there. Character is what helps you climb the ladder. Character is what helps you stay true to yourself. Character is what helps you develop discipline, helps you really have everything of value in your life. It starts with character. And I truly believe that sports, in its purpose, is to help us build our character. Because there aren't a lot of other situations or environments in life where we can develop our character hands-on the way that we can in a controlled environment, just like sports. Okay, so it starts by building character. It starts by being able to look at yourself in the mirror, understand that you have skills, you have certain things that come with the package that you are, but you got to refine them, And it's not just about your actions, it's about how you think. It's about the character that carries you forward. And this is what allows you to interact with people. This is what allows you that on your wedding day, you have people from all over the place that can sign a football that hopefully you'll keep forever. And I do keep it forever. It's right here in my office, right here. So I can see it every day. So I can remind myself of these people that truly I'll never forget. Because they became family, with everything we've went through. Waking up 4:30 a.m., running, working out, the pain of defeat, the glory of winning, all of these things, attention to details, learning where you stand, not being selfish, thinking about the team, all of these things. This is what sports can do for you. This is one of the purpose. And honestly, sports has a million purpose that we can get into. But I'll really focus on 3. I love this number 3. This is what we're doing today. So the first one, I repeat, if you're asking yourself, what is the purpose of sports? If you're a parent, on the edge thinking, okay, I want my children to do sports or not. Well, one thing I can tell you is that sports will allow your children to build character. If you want to believe in yourself more, if you want to give yourself a chance to succeed in life, you need character. So doing sports will allow you to do that. Okay? Now let's talk about the second thing when it comes to what is the purpose of sports. This is actually one of my favorites. This is something that we don't necessarily want to hear. And I'm talking about everyone, including myself. Okay, we're all dealing with this. We don't necessarily want to hear it, but we need to hear it. Football, or sports in general. You know, I go back to football because I had my football in my hand and this is my sport originally. But really it doesn't matter, whatever sport you play. I believe that in its truest form, in its true purpose, okay, sports have been also created to destroy your ego. To destroy your ego. Ego is that little voice that you have in your mind, okay, that tells you sometimes that you deserve something, but you don't. Okay, that tells you that you should have something, but you don't. That tells you that, hey, you don't need to listen because you know best. Or maybe that tells you that you're not good enough. That tells you that you don't want to be hurt. You'd rather stay in the back. You don't want to expose yourself to certain situations. Ego is that thing that holds you back. Ego is that thing, and I did another episode about that. You can actually go back, okay, to learn more about it. So make sure check out the episodes. But ego is that thing or that being that masquerades at yourself and lives your life while you stand in the background and totally forget about yourself. Sports was created and is a powerful tool to help you destroy your ego so you can be at that forefront, so you can take the wheel, so you can be, hey, I don't care how talented I am. If I'm going to make something of myself, if I'm going to contribute, if I'm going to make an impact, if I'm going to leave a legacy, I'm going to work, right? I'm not owed anything. What I get is what I put in. What I get is what I put in. I'm going to put myself to the side. I'm going to take care of my people. I'm going to give everything that I got for the team. Because as you do that, in return, you're also building yourself. You know, one thing I love about football specifically, you know, all sports are different, but all sports are a little bit the same in their purpose. One thing I love about football, and that's what I told the audience, okay, when I was there, is that no matter how much you love football, football doesn't love you back. How is that for your ego? Right? Your sport doesn't love you back. And here's what I mean by that. Is that I got done playing football 10 years ago. The game still goes on, with or without me. And it's going to continue to go on with or without me, right? No matter how great you are, no matter who you are. Mike Leach, you know, did some amazing things. The game will go on. Football doesn't love you back. Or sports doesn't love you back. So if it becomes the most important thing in your life, if you forget how worthy you are with or without the game, you're missing out. If you allow your players or allow your children to make this sport or their sport, football, soccer, basketball, whatever it is, their God, we're missing out. Your parents love you. Your coaches love you. Your people love you. Your true people, I mean, with or without football, right? So now it allows us to destroy our ego, to really look at ourselves in the mirror and to go back to asking ourselves the why. Why do we want to compete? Why do we want to be great? Why do you want a scholarship? Why do you want to go pro? Is it just to go pro? What does it mean? Is it to take care of your family? Is it to inspire the new generation? Is it to see what you're made of? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I making this podcast? Why am I speaking so passionately about this? It's because for me, making an impact means everything. Doing fulfilling work that I love and that helps people, it means everything. To fulfill my full potential, it means everything. The only way to do that is to leave my ego aside. The only way for me to be the best father, the best husband I can be, the best brother, the best son, the best athlete I could have been, the best coach, the best podcaster, the best speaker, is to leave my ego to the side. Because that's where growth takes place. And I believe a big purpose of sports is to destroy the ego. Because it won't leave by itself. It'll always keep a little place in your mind. But the more you chip away at it, the more you become aware of it, the more you can destroy it day by day, the more that you live, the greater you become, the greater your life is, the happiest your life is. Everything becomes memorable, remarkable. Just like that memory from my wedding and all my teammates with that football, for me, that means everything. So number one, okay, we talked about football as a tool to build character. Number two, we talked about football or sports, okay, as a tool to destroy your ego. And now let's talk about number three. Okay. Every time I talk to student athletes, every time I speak in front of an audience, every time I speak to pro athletes, to business executives, it doesn't matter, okay? I remind people that they are unfinished products. Let me say that again. You are an unfinished product. I am an unfinished product. Every day what we do, every day what we learn, every day what we give, every day what we seek brings us closer to our full potential. The purpose of sports is to develop your untapped potential because you're an unfinished product, right? That's the cool thing about human beings is that we're wired for evolution. But evolution goes both ways. It can go up, it can go down. Okay? You can evolve the wrong way if you don't do the right things. If you don't believe the right things, if you don't think the right things, if you're not around the right people, you can evolve the wrong way. You can get smaller. The goal is for you to get greater. Sports can do that by developing your untapped potential, pushing you in ways you wouldn't push yourself, being around people, mentors, coaches who've done it, who've seen it, allowing yourself to see what greatness is, to see what hard work is, to feel pain, to feel struggle, to feel victory, to be judged, to push through anyways, to fall down, to get back up, to work on your craft, to study. Now guys, listen, all the stuff I'm talking about sports, but does that translate to success in school? Does that translate to success in business? Does that translate to success in leadership? Does that translate to success in family, in relationships, in marriage? I think it does. And if you destroy your ego enough to see that you have untapped potential in you, and you have built the right character to go to work, okay, to live with integrity, to have the discipline, the self-belief to strive forward, to take the coaching that can help you evolve, to do the tough things, to be humble in victory, to be honorable in defeat, then what happens is that you live with full presence, purpose, and power. What happens is that you can look people with brave eyes and with a heart on fire that you know, whether it's within the game or beyond the game, life is conspiring for your success. You are making a difference. You are making an impact. That's something I can get fired up about. That's something that means everything. That's something that will last and keep going way beyond your time, which is what I believe ultimately all of us want to do. I forgot who said this, but life is not just about you. It's not about what you receive. It's about what you give. Give of yourself by building your character, by destroying your ego, by developing your untapped potential, to give the world, to give your teammates, to give your coaches, to give your school, to give your friends, to give your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your parents, to give your fans the best version of yourself. And you will receive riches. And by riches, I mean happiness. By riches, I mean abundance. By riches, I mean success, whatever that means to you. Freedom. You will receive in ways that you cannot even comprehend. So now, guys, this is the purpose of sports. I'd love to know what you think. Okay? So if this message inspired you in any way, if it moved you in any way, if you feel like certain people that you know need to listen, or if you just want to support Heart on Fire, then you know what to do. Okay? Subscribe, follow us, share it, help us out. The goal is to impact 1 million people. Athletes, leaders, or growth seekers who want to make a difference, who want to be brave, who want to be great. This is why I do what I do. So now, as I told you starting out this episode, I made little changes, right? In the past few weeks, this was Heart on Fire, the Courage podcast. It became Heart on Fire, the Sports and Motivation podcast. Why? It's because I'm following my heart, but I'm also listening to my intuition and my reason from what I know to be true and from what people are telling me. Guys, listen, I have a background in business. I have a background as an executive, but in the end, my heart has always been with sports. My heart has always been with athletes and leaders. This is who I am. This is what I believe I am. My father was a former Olympian. My brother was a pro football player. I played NCAA ball. I have other athletes in my family who are Olympians. I've been around athletes all of my life as a coach, as an athlete myself. So for this reason, I want to give everything that I have to support and inspire and help develop sports, so that the next generation of athletes and leaders can be brave, so that my son can have amazing people to look up to, so that you can have amazing people to look up to. This is what sets my heart on fire. This is how I shake the world. So I hope you're as excited as me when you listen to why I made these little changes, but that I believe will have great ripple effects, and that I believe will bring you amazing content like this week to week and much more. and much more. This is what Heart on Fire is about. This is what I'm about. So thank you for your support. I wish you an amazing day. Remember why you love sports. Remember what is the purpose of sports. And remember to be brave. Leaders, warriors, and champions, see you next time.